Thank you. Okay, we are back from our lunch break. It is March 7th, 2023. We're continuing with our Board of County Commission meeting. And we're going to go back to the beginning of the agenda where we started. We had a couple of changes. We're going to do public hearing number 1, a legislative public hearing to consider transmittal of comprehensive plan text amendment CPA 22-07 for county operations. It'll be presented by Carolyn Grunwald and Mr. Clyde Doolin. Both of you are welcomed and recognized.
Good afternoon, members of the board. Carolyn Grunwald, planner in the Growth Management Department. And I'm here to speak with you about CPA 22-07, which is a site-specific text amendment. This is a proposed text amendment, board-initiated, site-specific to policy to add language excluding a 29.8 acre parcel from a planned unit development requirement and development agreement. This is being proposed so that the board would not be in the position of both the applicant and reviewing agency of the PUD agreement. The parcel is shown here outlined in red in the yellow industrial area. It is off of Southwest Canner Highway, just north of Southwest Bridge Road and south of 96th Street. This is the full policy here. The parcel in whole will still be subjected to all other subsections of policy number 2. And letter D is providing the exception for the 29.8 acre parcel, of which is to house county operations. Staff recommends approval of the sub-area policy language to exclude the parcel from the agreement. All other requirements as stated prior will remain applicable to the entire 250 acre parcel. This concludes my presentation. Do you have any questions?
Nice, tight presentation. Good for you. Love it. Questions for Ms. Grunwald from the commission? Any questions from or comments from the public? Seeing none.
I'll move staff's recommendation of approval.
Second.
Mr. Doolin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I wanted to state for the record that this has been noticed in the newspaper. A sign's been posted on the side of the road, and letters were sent out to surrounding property owners as required for site-specific text amendments. This is the second of 3 public hearings. The first one was before the local planning agency. This one is for transmittal, and today it'll be transmitted to, later this week it'll go off to the Department of Economic Opportunity and all the state agencies, and it'll come back to you for final adoption probably in a month plus. So this is only the second of 3 public hearings.
Thank you, sir. Does that change anybody's thoughts for a question or comment? Seeing none. Commissioner Hetherington has made a motion for staff's recommendation of approval. Commissioner Jenkins, did you second it already?
Yes.
Okay, seconded by Commissioner Jenkins. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Our next agenda item is Departmental Quasi-Judicial Number 1, request for the 7th Amendment to the Mariner Village Square Planned Unit Development Agreement, including revised master and phasing plans and Phase 4 final site plans. It'll be presented by Mr. Pete Walden. And since it's quasi-judicial, I would ask my colleagues if they've had any ex parte communications. Commissioner Smith.
If I do, they're filed.
Commissioner
If
Hetherington.
any, they've been filed.
Commissioner Jenkins.
If any, they've been filed.
Commissioner Hurd.
If any, they've been filed.
And same with me, if I have any, they've been filed. Anyone that's going to be offering any testimony, please stand to be sworn in.
Raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Thank you. Are there any return receipts that are necessary?
None required.
Thank you. Any interveners?
No, sir.
Do you have a copy of your work history and the agenda item?
I do for Exhibit 1.
Doug would like to take a look at it.
Okay, thanks, sir.
I would just like it to be emailed.
I think that's all of my questions and concerns for you. How'd I do?
You did great.
Right off the top of my head. Mr. Walden, you are recognized.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. Peter Walden, Deputy Growth Management Director. And this is the request for the Seventh Amendment to the Mariner Village Square PUD. It includes a revised master and phasing plan and a revised Phase 4 final site plan. It's requested by Lucidio and Associates on behalf of Ribbon Ventures LLC. This is an aerial of the subject site with a development overlay. You can see that Phase 2 of the site is already under construction, which included a residential storage facility and the infrastructure for the rest of the site. Phase 1 was already built back in the late 80s, and this is Phase 4 over here, the subject of this application. Mariner Village Square PUD was originally approved in 1986. Phase 1 was a 15,000 square foot office in the entryway at Mariner Sands Drive. And Phase 2 included the infrastructure and a 115,000 square foot residential storage facility. Phase 3, which has yet to have a formal application submitted, is a 6,000 square foot restaurant and 10,000 square foot of retail. And Phase 4, the subject of this application, is a 64-unit auto vault storage facility, which totals about 93,982 square feet. This is the revised master plan for the site. You can see the existing Mariner Sands Drive entryway here. There is an infrastructure road which will supply this site with its access, so there is no individual access to US 1 from this property. There's retention along US 1, which separates the building from US 1. There's 3 principal buildings, all 1 story, and the rest of the site has been developed under Phase 2 with the infrastructure. This is the site for Phase 4, and like I said, it's pretty straightforward. It's like an auto vault storage facility for cars, RVs, and it is no changes to the actual lot configuration that was previously approved. Development review staff have found the application to be in compliance with the land development regulations and the comprehensive growth management plan and recommend approval, and would move that the board receive and file the agenda item and its attachments, including the staff report as Exhibit 1, and move that the board approve the 7th Amendment to the Mariner Village Square PUD, including the revised master and phasing plans and Phase 4 final site plan. That concludes my presentation. Be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you, sir, very much. Commissioner Hurd?
I'm just curious, if 3 hasn't been submitted yet, why isn't this 3?
Well, the master site plan has always had that section of the plan as Phase 3, and since the infrastructure is all in place for the entire project, you can skip around. It doesn't have to go incrementally.
Okay, thanks.
Mr. Crady, good afternoon.
Oh, sure.
Good afternoon. For the record, my name is Morris Crady. I'm senior partner with Lucido and Associates. And I do have a brief PowerPoint, and here is a copy of the PowerPoint for the record. And I'm here on behalf of the applicant, which is the landowner, and also it's like a joint venture with the Auto Vault people. And I do have our engineer in the audience and also a representative from the developer's side. And I can take that. Let's see, where are you?
Let's see. I think I got you here.
And the last time I was before you, I think it was about 2 years ago, when we got the residential storage facility approved along with the plat infrastructure. So as mentioned, all of the lot is actually lot number 4. That was part of the plat, so we've retained that as Phase 4 just for consistency. And this is a revised final site plan. You know where the property is located, but this is what's currently approved, and we actually had final site plan approval for Phase 4, which was a residential care facility, 152 bedrooms. And now that other facilities have been built in the area, we were tasked with trying to find a use that was in demand in the community and fit well in the community. So that's now being changed. But But the infrastructure, this road, this Phase 1 was built back in, I think, 1990. This portion of the road was built, and then this connection to this additional, or this condominium project was built so they would have access to the signal, which is at Mariner Sands Boulevard. So that's the intersection. But this is the current approved plan that we're changing, and the only thing that we're affecting is Phase 4. And this is the proposed plan. And you can see we've maintained the same infrastructure. The Phase 2 is still under construction, but all of the surrounding stormwater retention areas, the Phase 2 lake has been expanded. All of the infrastructure and water and sewer facilities necessary to service Phase 4 are now in place. And here's a rendering of the project. Even though all the preserve area management plan requirements have been met, we've restored and removed all the exotic vegetation from this preserve area. Again, we've expanded the lake. You can see how this all lays out. This entrance is now connected. There is an existing access off of US 1. All of that has been completed entirely and signed off by the engineering department. We're still doing some maintenance and landscaping out there, but all that will get done prior to the issuance of any COs. And you can see what's adjacent to us. These are some commercial lots, some vacant commercial lots to the south. And then this is all preserve area on Mariner Village Estates property. And then we're also doing a 25-foot landscape buffer where we've retained all the native vegetation. And part of our infrastructure was a construction of an 8-foot decorative wall that we've now built in this section. And that was based on meetings with the residents in Mariner Village. So all of those have been constructed. This is an 8-foot wall, what it looks like, and this is the perimeter stormwater treatment area that takes the initial stormwater and cleans it before it goes into the wetland or filters into the wetland. You can see the thick vegetation on the other side of the wall, which is the 25-foot buffer. In addition to that, there's a 40-foot preserve area on Mariner Village. So none of these homes are impacted. The previous assisted living facility was a 2-story structure, 35 feet high. These are all 23-foot high buildings, so they won't even see the buildings from their backyard. But again, you can see this is the stormwater treatment area in between the wall and the wetland preserve area. And this is the expanded lake. Again, this area over here where there is no wall, that's where the Mariner Sands Preserve Area and Recreation Facility is located. So there are no homes on this area. This is all part of the Mariner Sands Recreation Facility, which is in this location. So there's no need for a wall here. The wall is going to go from here all the way to here to provide security and also a very significant buffer for the surrounding residents. But this use is much less impactful than the assisted living facility. We recognize that. And there's great demand in Hope Sound and in fact, Jupiter Island. Most of these units have been reserved now, and they can't wait to get inside these buildings. There's how it looks overall. Again, you can see how we've kind of found a use we think is compatible with the surrounding areas. We are still looking at retail and restaurant uses here, and we think that these uses that have been approved will create additional synergy to bring something there that we think the community will like. And we've been in constant contact with Mariner Sands. There's a gentleman over there that is a attorney that we've made sure we're taking care of any particular things. In fact, we donated $50,000 to Mariner Sands when we got the residential storage approved so they could enhance the landscaping in the median of US 1. So all the conditions have been complied with. We have staff's full recommendation of approval. This is a rendering of what the buildings would look like. It's been enhanced since this is kind of an early rendering, and you can see this is not really going to be a lake out there, but you can see the size of the buildings are all less than the size of the surrounding trees in the preserve areas. But that is actually a stormwater treatment area. It's not a lake in front. So that's going to get planted with native wetland vegetation and have additional landscaping that's going. It's not big enough for a lake, but we are proposing a attractive water feature here as part of a sign concept. So this will be, as you walk along US 1, this is our sign concept that will advertised for the Hope Sound Auto Vault, and we hope to be a very successful project in Martin County. And with that, I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you, sir. Any questions for Mr. Crady?
Are they going to be condoed, Morris?
Are they condominium? Yes, yes. yes.
So there'll be, sorry, so there'll be, the ownership, like they'll have the ownership and it'll be like a land lease or something?
Got to come to
So you
the,
got to come in, you got to introduce yourself.
come on up.
He wasn't sworn in, but, I mean, I'll attest for him.
No, that's-
Swear him in.
We could swear him in.
come forward. Come forward. Say you. No, go ahead. You're going to get sworn in now,
Okay,
and then you get sworn at.
all right.
Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
And if you could just please state your name for the record.
My name's Jameson Weeks.
So I was just it's more curiosity than anything. So there'll be simple fee ownership, land and building portion like a condo?
Building and then, common area for the rest of the property.
So it'd be like on a, somebody will own the footprint and then the other individuals will own the units?
It'll be owned by the association.
Okay, by the association.
Yes.
Cool. Great, thank you.
That it? Okay.
All that for that. Any other questions for the applicant's representatives?
Oh, can I ask one more question?
Please state if you've been sworn in.
There's a similar style unit up in Jensen. It's really nice. How many square feet are the units going to be?
There's a few that are a little larger, but the majority of them are 1,456 square feet.
Okay, cool.
The one in Jensen we built also,
Did you?
the Jensen Beach Auto Vault.
Yeah, it's nice.
That's
What about the
CBOT.
Palm City Auto Vault? What's happening?
Palms, I've never heard of that one.
No, I know, you should.
I need one, okay. I hear you loud and clear.
Well, I don't like Hobe Sound and Jensen Beach, to have everything just for themselves. The Rocky Point Auto Vault.
Don't want one.
Okay,
Move approval.
wow, good for you.
Third?
Motion to build the Hobe Sound Auto Vault, motioned by Commissioner Hurd, seconded by Commissioner Heatherington.
No, by Commissioner Smith.
Oh, Smith?
Doesn't sound much like her, but that's okay.
I just heard some. Seconded by Commissioner Smith. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? The motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That goes in the record. No, no.
Really?
Oh, you got that? That goes, yeah.
A lot of heavy building and development in your district. It's rampant. Yeah, he already has an auto vault, 64 cars. He couldn't even fit half his collection in there. Anyway, we're still live. We're back. Our next agenda item is Administrative Departmental Number 1, Office of Management and Budget items which require board approval. There are 7 items, and it will be presented by Ms. Jennifer Manning. Did you take your brace off?
Over there.
Didn't match your outfit?
No.
Are you supposed to be wearing it all the time?
Yes.
Okay, so against doctor's orders, whatever. Welcome.
Been exposed. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, Commissioners. Jennifer Manning, OMB Director. The first item on the agenda is permission to apply for FY 2024 Small Outreach Grant for application cycle 2029. Weird, right? Through Florida Department of Transportation. And they're hoping to get approximately $1.1 million in grant funding. And it requires a $337,000 match, which will be programmed in 2029. And they're hoping to resurface Southwest Kansas Avenue and road construction at the South Camp Valor to Southwest Kenner Highway.
Camp Valor.
That's a weird one, right?
Camp Valor. Yeah, well, Camp Valor is probably
Valor.
a whole different thing.
Valor. Camp Valor, okay. Second item is permission to apply for the FY 2024 Alternative Water Supply Project funding. And this grant program is available to public utilities through legislative funding. And they're applying through South Florida Water Management District. They're requesting approximately $2.5 million. If they're successful, the total project would cost $5.75 million. And this is to construct the North Water Treatment Plant, Florida Aquifer production, as well as associated raw water mains. Third item is permission to apply for the Clean Vessel Act grant funding, and this is to cover operational costs for equipment, salaries, maintenance and repairs and contractual services, as well as supplies. Their operational budget is $121,600. They're anticipating 75% of that funding, which would equate to $91,200. Fourth item is permission to accept the 2023 Supporting Healthy Aging through Parks and Recreation. And this is for 2 instructors to instruct Tai Chi for arthritis program. I'm looking around to see if anybody needs that, but anyway. But
You're the
anyway,
one wearing a
it-
brace.
Yeah, I know. So it's valued at $700. So it's a nice program for our aging group.
How many people get to do the program? 3 people?
No. Okay, the fifth item, permission to accept the additional funds from the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. This is the amendment for the St. Lucie Inlet IMP implementation. They're anticipating an additional $800,000. This will bring the project cost to $16,710,000, $621. $16,710,621.72. And I noticed I didn't want to do all of that, but anyway, 50% of the cost the grant will cover, which is roughly $8.4 million.
Quite a swing in your request
I
today,
know, yes, I go,
from $700 to $16 million.
I try to, make the changes here. Okay, so the sixth item, permission to accept the Federal Emergency Management, FEMA, if you will, public assistance through Florida Department of Emergency Management for Hurricane Ian. We have several categories, but the first set of categories, A and B, is covered at 100%, and categories C through G is covered at 75%. And the remaining 25% of those category is 12.5% will be covered by the state, and 12.5% will be covered by the county. The final item is permission to accept the Department of Environmental Protection Amendment Number 1. And in this one, we are increasing an additional $206,000. The total project cost is $900,000. The federal share is 45.97, and the county share is 54.03. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you very much. Questions for Ms. Manning? Anyone from the public looking to address us on this topic?
Move staff's recommendation.
Thank you. Thank you. We have a motion by Commissioner Hurd for staff's recommendation, seconded by Commissioner Jenkins. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? The motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next item is departmental number 2, contracts that meet the threshold for board approval, $1 million or greater. There'll be 2 items, and they'll be presented by Ms. Christy Brotherton from Palm City.
That's right, District 5. Good afternoon, Christy Brotherton, Chief Procurement Officer. We've got 2 items for your consideration. The first one is our Southeast Cove Road resurfacing and bike lane project. Staff is recommending that the board award the contract to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, which is FG Construction, in the amount of $2,265,835.54. Move that the board adopt the amended CIP sheet that reflects the supplemental grant funding to award this bid, and move that the board authorize the county administrator or designee to execute all documents related to this request. The next item is a continuing services contract for planning services for the community redevelopment areas. This contract has a maximum not-to-exceed value of $2,500,000 with a maximum not-to-exceed term of 5 years. And staff is recommending that the board award the contract to the 3 highest scoring bidders, which were Business Flare, GAI Consultants, and Marlin Engineering, and move that the board authorize the county administrator or designee to execute any and all documents related to this request. And that concludes this item.
I just had a quick question.
Thank you very much. We have a comment by Commissioner Heatherington.
I'm sure that, on number one, I'm just looking at the bid sheet. They were really close between, what's our local vendor preference, 5%? I assume you did the math. One was 2 million, FG was 2,265,000, and Sunshine Land was 2,369,000. So that must have been obviously outside that 5%.
Well, with this particular project, it is federally funded. So anytime we have federal funds associated with a
Can't
project.
give a local vendor
We
preference?
cannot have preference programs. So location's a big one, so that's removed. So in this case, even if it was within the 5%, we could not apply our local vendor preference.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Commissioner Smith.
Christie, you might want to check with Sarah Powers, but I think there's been legislation put in this year to do away with our ability to do it across the board,
Okay.
I think.
I'm not familiar with federal highway
No, this is state.
or state. Well, this is through federal highway.
I understand. I'm just,
Yeah.
just tangential to that conversation
Okay.
that she just had.
Sure.
There's something that's getting modified or being wanted to be modified relative to local preference this year, I think.
Will do.
That being said,
Move staff's recommendation.
you're on a roll.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Hurd to accept staff's recommendation, seconded by Commissioner Jenkins. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? The motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you in the neighborhood. Mr. Abate, we start the day with you, we end the day with you. Welcome back.
Good afternoon, Kevin
One of my
Abate.
favorite agenda items. Let me announce it, please. It is departmental number 3, skate park operations and fees. It'll be presented by Mr. Kevin Abate.
At the request of the board, we're bringing this item back about fees that were charged or are being charged for county skate parks. As you know, the county Parks Department, we operate currently 3 skate parks. We used to operate 5. Indiantown and Lamar Howard Park were converted to futsal courts, which is indoor soccer. So our parks are now located at Jock Layton, Mary Brogan, and at Pat Mark Ryle Skate Park. At the time when the county constructed all the skate parks, we were required to sign liability waivers for minors under the Florida statute. And then at that time, there was a process that was developed to register users and ensure that these waivers were signed initially in person, then ultimately online to comply with the law. Skate cards are issued to our skate park users. They're checked periodically at all the 6 skate parks that we have remaining, which are 3. And in addition to checking the skate cards, we conduct safety reviews of the skate parks and have staff on site to monitor behavior issues or assist with any issues at each park. And then during the economic downturn, a $20 annual pass and a $5 pass was established to reduce the operating impact of administering those liability waivers for minors. Legal reviewed, along with risk management and TRICO, the requirement to obtain these waivers for minors for skate participants. And the legal department concluded that the statute had changed in 2015, and it was amended to remove the requirement for government entities that operate skateboarding facilities to obtain a sign waiver from minor parents.
Parents of minors.
Correct, yeah, parents of minors, correct, minors' parents. So that extent, our recommendation is based on that, is that we would like to sunset, and the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board has also approved this as well, or recommended for approval, that we sunset the fees, which remove the waiver requirement to collect waivers, and then we would also, we would continue to monitor the skate parks as we're doing now. That's in the recommendation, and that's it.
Thank you very much. Questions for Mr. Abate? Anyone from the public looking to address us on this topic? Seeing none, comes back to the board.
I'll move staff's recommendation of approval.
Thank you. I would like to say thank you. I was one of the people that was surprised by the fact that we were charging for these. I had some folks that had gone out there for the day and were surprised as well, so I appreciate your quick implementation of our desires.
Second.
No, we already have one. Thank you, though. We have a motion to accept staff's recommendation by Commissioner Heatherington, seconded by Commissioner Smith. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you. That brings us to the end of our official agenda. I don't see anyone here in the chambers to offer end of the day or 5:05 public comment, so I will bring it back to the board, and we'll start with you, Commissioner Hurd.
Yeah, just an observation about a project. It's a county project. Several months ago, I was traveling along US 1 and noticed a big development on the east side of the road next to the Sheridan. And I thought, there's all this dirt piled up and lots of trucks and lots of tractors and stuff. And I thought, man, what did we approve there? And then I examined a little bit more closely, and it's the county's project. It's the East Fork Creek STA. It's maybe 20 acres. I don't know how many acres it is, but it was a piece of property that we owned. It was under conservation. It was in really, really bad shape. So the restoration, ecosystem restoration people decided to make an STA out of it. And I took a tour of it last week, and man, is that going to be nice. So for residents out there who are thinking the same thing that I was, which is, wow, what did we approve there? It's really, really going to be nice. It's going to be wonderful for the residents there, and it's going to be terrific for us. It's going to really, really improve water quality that ultimately goes into the Manatee Pocket. I think it's taking it from Poinciana Gardens, maybe?
Is it across the street from Poinciana Gardens?
Yes?
I work with a guy, and he and his wife were all in panic mode several months ago, and he's like, oh, what's happening now? And then when I told him, he changed his tune.
Uh-huh.
He was very happy.
Really nice project, so take a tour. It's not going to be finished till like August or September.
I'll wait until August.
It was just as hot the other day when I went there as it is in August.
Well, thank you. Anything else?
That's it.
Commissioner Jenkins, it's your turn.
I'm good.
Give us something.
Well, that project is just barely in my district.
Must just be barely.
Everything is barely
Yeah.
in your district.
And there's some folks that live right on that now are opened up to US 1, so we're dealing with that a little bit. But
It's going to be replanted. It's going to
yeah,
be beautiful.
I know. We're getting it.
And also, while I'm on that,
Way to kill the
we should just investigate. I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea, but we should investigate in these big STAs, even in the small ones, doing tree islands, maybe to, for roosting purposes. And I don't know if that would decrease water quality or if it would be neutral, but it seems to me that it might be something that we need to investigate to see if tree islands in the STAs might be a good idea.
I predict their answer is the maintenance of it, because they have to
I think we have it.
keep the invasives out of it.
We've traditionally done more like a peninsula, so you can send crews out there easily
Yeah.
to do the exotic removals. And so some you'll see, and it also helps us divert the water around. So those are some of the techniques. Although we've done the B maps and some other high-intensity maintenance activities, but no, the tree islands
They're
or
cool.
peninsulas are a
Yeah.
good thing.
The stormwater retention area on Map Road south of Martin Highway before Piper's on the east side has a lot of peninsulas through there, and you can actually see, I guess birds, like Commissioner Hurd said, I think birds feel a little more comfortable that they're not like so readily accessible, and you can see the benefits of them there. Anything else?
We're good,
Anything
thanks.
happening in your district?
Everybody's quiet and happy.
Very nice. Commissioner Heatherington,
I'm all set for today.
nothing? Commissioner Smith?
Well, we'll stay on this theme. I talked to John Mayle a couple of weeks ago about that project that Sarah just raised, and exactly to the point that people really don't know what it is. I said to John, it just ought to become policy with these projects that as they go into construction, as they work through construction, we ought to get drones out there. We ought to get really good coverage so that we can do like little documentaries on what it is we're doing, because people really don't know. I said to John, my guess is 90% of the people that drive by there are like, what's going on now? What's getting built?
Yeah.
And they don't know. And if we don't tell them and we don't show them, there's no real.
Well, you need a billboard right on the road there.
We had a billboard right on
Yeah.
the road, but it's like this, and you're driving 50 mile an hour. It's kind of hard to.
Bigger.
So I just think that that's something we ought to build into our projects, that there's a line item in there to document and MCTV or however we want to do it and market it, because they're really cool things we do, but we just sometimes don't tell people enough what it is. That's it.
Fantastic. I don't have anything except by the time we meet again on March 21st, it will have been St. Patrick's Day, so I wish everyone a happy and safe St. Patrick's Day. Mr. Donaldson, what do you have?
Nothing this afternoon.
I disagree with that. I'm sorry. Ms. Woods? Fantastic. Layla? Donna, anything? Okay, we will end our meeting and we will see everyone back here. Anything? Thanks for your protection earlier. We will meet here again on March 21st. See you then.